Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 Build a Nation story, Climbing with Cliftonville, with me, Daniel. It is part 32 today and we are back for what I'm imagining is going to be the final episode of the season. Our European dream continues with the biggest tie by far in this club's history. We're in the Europa Conference semi-final and we are playing Italian giants Roma. A two-legged tie, but I've got a feeling we might be out of it after the first leg. We'll take a look at their side in a minute. We'll show both legs of that game if it's all still to play for. And we've also got the Northern Irish Cup final to get through as well. So it might be a triple header, or if Roma absolutely batter us in the first leg, we'll skip straight through to Linfield. We'll have to decide based on that as well what team we're going to play in which game. Because potentially we've got a reserve side against Linfield. If we're still playing against Roma with the first 11 for the second leg, but who knows? There's a lot to play for. Glenn Middleton's still out injured from the last episode. Unfortunately, we're not quite fully strengthened there. But we have still got a very strong 11. But nowhere near as strong as Roma. We'll meet them in a minute. But if you are looking forward to this episode, a dream come true to play Roma in a big European semi-final, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM20 content, continuing from this series next season as well. We will be back every day on the channel with this save. And hopefully this can lead to even bigger and better things. Finally, you can catch up with our Irish Premiership predictions from the podcast channel up in the eye above. We really enjoyed making that and the feedback's been exceptional. So I hope you can check that one out and I hope you enjoy it too. But we've got AS Roma today and let's have a look at their side. Because they have got a world-class team. Lorenzo Pellegrini got a knock but worth £58 million on 150 grand a week, 40 caps for Italy. Sensational. They've got Zaniolo, a right winger and central midfielder. World class, Italian international at 22. Gianluca Mancini, a centre half. £50 million, 23 caps for Italy. Probably one of the best centre halves in the world. Brian Cristante, an absolute superstar of a player at 27, an Italian international. Cengiz Under, who's gone to Leicester in real life. Here, a world class player, 47 caps for Turkey. Florenzi, a well-known Italian international. Callum Chambers is on the bench. Minamino from Liverpool, not even in the squad due to injury. Justin Kluivert, a wonder kid at the start of the game. He's playing over on the left wing, a Dutch international. They've got Pastore, Lovren, Santon, Dzeko, loads of well-known names. Even Ante Koric, the Croatian international, a very good player as well. So this is going to be some challenge indeed. So let's see if we can avoid getting embarrassed in the first leg. There's not a great deal that's gone on off camera. We just played 4 more league games. And unfortunately, we threw away another as well. So we beat Linfield 4-1. Adam Idar, a Hepburn Murphy brace and Crawford with the goals. Van Oberbeek scoring a screamer for Linfield. A 1-0 defeat away at Glenavon. A poor result, a poor performance. The backup side just didn't have any inspiration at all. But we returned to form with a victory against Dungannon. Cal Naismith and a brace for Jack Clark with the goals there. And then a 4-1 win at home to Institute. Gary Cahill and Sami Khedira both scoring a goal. Probably their last game before retirement, in truth. And then Stephen Thompson and Noah Daly making it a comfortable first half lead. But Roma are clear favourites today. This is going to be an awfully tough game. 13,500 travelling to Windsor Park to see us play Roma. Probably the biggest attendance we've had in this series as well. And we've got our first 11 with the exception of the missing Middleton, who's replaced by Cal Naismith. So we've got Bazunu in goal, Williams and Burke the fullbacks with Shotton and Wood at centre-half, Lansbury and Smith in midfield, Clark and Naismith on the wings, and Hepburn Murphy alongside Adam Idar up front. There's nothing else to say, there's nothing else to do. Let's see if we can hold our own against an Italian giant. 4-2-3-1, nearly all the big names we mentioned are back in that side. It is some team they've got, and I don't know if we're going to be able to compete, if I'm being honest. This is the one that I'm most worried about. And it's part of the problem we're getting this far is do you then end up in a position where you get absolutely embarrassed by a massive side? But I've got to say moving forward, we've talked about it a little bit previously, but the Europa Conference obviously is coming in real life next season. Was initially due to potentially start this year. But next season, this is going to be a great opportunity for clubs from smaller nations. If you get the lucky draw, if you get good results in the first 2 qualifiers. So I look at someone like Coleraine this season in real life. They got to the 3rd qualifying round of the Europa League and draw Motherwell. They lose that, they're then in the Europa Conference playoff. And that's an opportunity that these clubs wouldn't normally have. The coefficient points are still very good here, as we've gone one down already. Cengiz sets up Edin Dzeko, who slides it into the corner. Perfect finish from a top-class striker. And we're already behind. We knew that was going to happen today. But genuinely, looking forward in real life, this could be a wonderful opportunity from some of the minnow nations as such. Particularly ones that have potential young players like Northern Ireland, and like the Republic as well, to be fair, to bring through players and give them a chance in European football. And if they can get to group stages once or twice, can make a real difference to the coefficient of the nation. But early on, Roma are dominant here as Bazunu clears long downfield. Hepburn Murphy gets it away, but he doesn't manage to get it forward to his strike partner, and Justin Kluivert brings it clear. As Cristante finds Florenzi, and it's a good tackle from Naismith. I thought he was going to get done for the two-footed lunge, but it turned into a good block in the end. As the ball's cleared long downfield to Kluivert, I think we're seeing the difference between every side we've faced and AS Roma, as Pellegrini shoots from distance just wide of the post. This is going to be a slaughterhouse, I think. I'm really worried about this game. Although having said that, it's our first chance with Naismith. Oh my word, it hasn't happened again. We're back on level terms. Saul Schotten at the back stick from the corner. The free kick, from the right hand side. Brilliant delivery in from Naismith. And Saul Schotten has scored in a European semi-final. We've just shown you the players that we're playing against. Worth 50, 60, 70 million pound. All on 100 grand a week, all playing for the Italian national team. How on earth does things like this happen? We said the same when we were playing Celtic, Besiktas, Sparta Prague. How is this happening? Roma have a team of superstars, and they might be in again here. Florenzi back to under, and immediately they've restored their lead. I've got to be honest, if we don't lose this game, I will start to question this save, because we should be getting absolutely spanked today, to be honest. As Cengiz has a free kick again, this is where it starts to go wrong, is it? Bazunu makes sure it's just a 1-goal deficit. Great interception and a wonderful clearance. Jack Clark's in on the right-hand side here. There's 3-on-3 momentarily. Clark goes alone, and it's a good save from the keeper to tip it wide. But another corner kick, and you know we've got that danger from set pieces. And it's going to be taken by Henry Lansbury, the experienced midfielder, into the back post. But Dejan Lovren's there, and Zaniolo can counter. The £50 million man brings it over halfway. He's up against Nico Williams. Cuts it back to Mancini, the centre-half. Still has that knock, but brought it out comfortably. It remains 2-1 to Roma, but we've competed and we've got a goal. As Cengiz puts a free kick in, headed just wide by Lovren. But it is all Roma, and the fact that we got that goal was a lucky break. Let's see if we can keep the score down. Just 2 minutes to half time. I'm really surprised it's only 2-1. We've done a great job here. But Mancini gets on the header from the goal kick. Pellegrini goes wide to Cengiz, who has absolutely run the show today. Out to Florenzi, overlapping at right back. Taking on Burke. Back to Gunda again. Chance to cross it in. Pellegrini's there. And it's hoofed away by Burke. And it might find Hepburn Murphy here. 2-on-2 momentarily. Hepburn Murphy's beaten in a challenge though. Mancini looks a class act back there. At half-time, it is Cliftonville 1, Roma 2. And I can tell you what, I would have taken that at the start. It's a really good result so far. So let's just see if the part-time thing sort of works in the second half for Roma. Of course, we are going professional in the summer. That will make a big difference too. But for now, we might get overrun towards the end, as Zaniolo clears long downfield. And don't forget, we started in the first qualifying round of the Champions League. I mean, we've potentially got another sort of 20 games on Roma this season. Given all the extra cups in Ireland, I know we've had 2 teams playing them, and no one's really started more than 40 games, but it is still bizarre, as Jack Clark picks it up on halfway for us. We're still trying to play the right way, which I like to see, although that pass is astray. Florenzi heads it away to Under, up to Dzeko, he leaves it for Kluivert, great dummy, and Kluivert's in, and Bazunu makes another great save. And it's a free kick at centre-half for Lovren. Roma with time to play out, and that professional fitness is just starting to show now, as Burke heads away to Naismith. We're sort of trapped in our own half, as Burke brings it down the line again, and he's conceded it to Under. Hasn't got that same time he normally has. He puts it into Dzeko, and he slides it into the near post just beyond Bazunu. It is 3-1 on the hour mark, and unfortunately, after talking Bazunu up, he's let one in he probably should have saved. We'll think about subs in a moment, but it's been a great effort from the lads. Just a quarter of the game to go. We're going to bring on Sami Khedira. Just sit a little bit deeper in midfield, try and give us that structure. I want to make sure we're not completely battered in this game, to be honest. And Jack Clark's going to be replaced by Daly, Hepburn Murphy by Crawford. Those 2 young boys getting an experience of a lifetime. 20 minutes to go though, And I've got a feeling this might get out of sight because Zaniolo's picked it up on the left and we're starting to tire. We're not quite as quick closing down. Kluivert finds the overlapping left back. Chance to deliver into Pellegrini and it is 4-1. I don't think we'll need to show the second leg here. We have been outclassed by a world-class team. And the job in the second leg really, with what will be a backup side with it being just 3 days before the cup final, is to make sure we don't lose our morale. As Chambers heads just over the substitute Callum Chambers. That shows the quality they've got. Veretout come on as well. Had a brief poor spell at Villa, but since then's had a brilliant career in real life. And Javier Pastore's come on for a laugh as well, as they bring it down at left back to Chambers. He's got 2 down the line, but instead goes back to his keeper. He's got time on the ball, and the legs are gone. Look at that pressure, it's completely gone. The lad's not quite at the normal speed, the fitness down, as Pastore plays a 1-2. Just sort of dictating the tempo out there. Under flicks it down to Pellegrini. He's switched sides. And he's got a man down the line, but he's giving it away. Can Noah Daly give a lifeline? Charging down the right. There's no one up with him. Into the box. It's a feeble effort. He could have laid it across, really. Crawford was there. But instead he went for the glory, and it's cost us. Cliftonville 1, Roma 4. And we've just met a side who are far too good. Even so, a really good effort in the first leg. We will probably get beaten 6 or 7 away from home. But it was nice to see. A brilliant European run. It's ended by a side that are unhappy to lose 4-1 to Roma, which shows their ambition, shows their aspirations. I think that's a really good sign for the future. A brilliant team, a brilliant run, but unfortunately, Roma have categorically ended it. But let's not be too downhearted. We're probably not going to get a European semi-final ever again in this save. We've certainly got to make the most of moments like that. So we will play the second leg off camera. We know we're out of the tie now. And we will be back to face Linfield in 9 days' time for the Irish Cup final. Can we add another trophy to the cabinet? We've got the Irish League. We won that comfortably, just breaking 100 points on the final day. We also got the All-Ireland Champions Cup, the Shield and the Bet McLean League Cup. The only thing we didn't win is the Europa Conference and the Challenge Cup, the Caramel Wafer Cup. So we didn't get to see our favourite thumbnail, so we'll prioritise that next year. But as it stands, everything else could be won if we win the Irish Cup final. So we'll be back in a moment to find out if we can and reflect on our second leg against Roma. Irish Cup final time, a chance to add a 5th trophy to the cabinet this year, complete the domestic set with just Europe and a Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup missed out on. They'll be the ones we push for in the future. But Glenn Middleton is not fit today, so we will be missing him again. It will be the same 11 as you saw in the first leg against Roma. In the second leg, we rested people, we changed it around, and we just did one worse. We lost 5-1. It was a terrible start. We were 4 down in 20 minutes, and I'm afraid I did the dirty at that point. I went time wasting, I went defensive, deep defensive line as well. We just sort of ground out a result, and 5-1 in the end. We drew 1-1 for the last 70 minutes. Hepburn Murphy off the bench got a goal, gave us a little consolation, but 9-2 on aggregate, not a disaster. Against a world-class side, a side that should be competing in the Champions League semi-finals really, we've managed to hold our own, sort of. So not all disastrous. The coefficient next year is going to be crazy, and I can't wait to see what it does to us and to Northern Ireland. Obviously that will take place the season after next, so providing we've got the time for at least 2 more years, that means we could finish with a flourish across the country. But today we face Linfield in the Irish Cup final, another side that have had a disappointing year. In the end, as we're joined by Ballina Millard in the top tier next year, that's going to be an interesting one. A side that pretty often produce brilliant youth players. Linfield did sneak up into 3rd place. The final day they made that. So they should have European football next year, whether it's via winning the cup final or by being 3rd. And then I presume, like last year, there'll be a playoff between the next 4. Larne, the last place after relegation, 10th place. Crusaders 9th, 2 of the 3 professional sides in the league, and they're languishing above the relegation zone. Absolutely pathetic. Larne spent $500,000 last summer and have got on paper the 2nd best side in the league. The likes of Stephen Welsh and Conor McDermott went there from us. And if Stephen Baxter's still there, I don't know how he's surviving it, because he's done an awful job since he started. They've barely won a game. Their finances are good, they're a professional side, and they should be in Europe dragging this country up with us, or dragging the coefficient for the country up. So I don't understand what's holding them back. But either way, let's go and get into this cup final. We're favourites to beat Linfield, we've got our first 11 back, and the Oval is sold out. 8,000 people in today to watch this brilliant game between 2 good sides. Our last game before we turn professional, and it is on my birthday, so how old will I be there? I will be 29 years of age today, and we are celebrating with an Irish Cup final and a chance to lift silverware in that glorious red and white suit. So it's exactly the same 11 as the last game. I think the same bench as well. So let's just get back into it. The second game of the day, will it go better than the first? 4-2-3-1, Joel Cooper on the left wing, obviously gone to Oxford in real life. Van Overbeek on the right wing, formerly of Glentoran. Gallagher and Devine in there. There's some good players. Amos at left back too. But they've never replaced Shane Lavery, and that's always been their problem this year. If they had him in the side, they'd probably be second again. But let's go and tell the lads to prove a point. Let's go and get out into the first half. Some of these, like Khedira off the bench, could be his last game today, and a few others have probably already played it. We've got Bazunu to extend his loan. He's staying for another season. All of the rest have rejected us at this stage, so we'll have to work later in the window again. But we did quite well last summer, so I'm not too worried about upgrading. As Shotton clears long downfield to Idar, flicks on for Hepburn Murphy. Lansbury running off him, that's a great goal. Henry Lansbury, looking at the summer and the way he's starting to decline, it might be his final game as well. And if it is, he has started it in style with a beautiful curled finish from 25 yards. Cliftonville 1, Linfield 0, and hopefully that fifth trophy is impending. As it's a throw on the left for Boyle, taken by Linfield, and it finds Kearns. Boyle crosses again, Burke hoofs it away downfield. Classic old volley, the John Smith's advert there, as Devine picks it up at centre half. To O'Hare, into midfield, switches to the right to Van Overbeek. Inside to Gallagher, finds Kearns, back to Gallagher again. He's got time on the ball, goes to Boyle, Van Overbeek again. Good football this from Linfield, keeping it from us quite well. Kearns picks it wide to Boyle, chance to cross, there's no pressure on him, gets it into Doyle and is headed away by Wood, flicked on by Clark. Only as far as Gordon, who switches again though. Boyle gets a second chance and Doyle heads just over the bar. 1-0, but our first scare of the match there, as Burke picks it up on the left-hand side, just inside the opposition half for the throw-in, to Naismith, who gets towards the byline, cuts it back to Matthew Smith, into the box, Hepburn Murphy! Oh, I thought it went straight in. The goal's been given to Hepburn Murphy, so he must have got a flick on it. But Matthew Smith, it was a taunting delivery, it was beautiful. But Hepburn Murphy gets the flick on. We can't discuss a deal for him, so for the second year in a row, we might be saying goodbye to him. But Hepburn Murphy scores a goal, and that is classic for him in the cup final. As Clark gets it from a clearance, Nico Williams nodded it down to him. Smith back to Shotton. Time on the ball, and he goes to Wood, his centre-half partner. We bring it over halfway, and we've got loads of time. We're just a class above at the moment. Linfield not investing as well as they should. They need to get a striker back in, as Lansbury goes wide to Nico Williams. Amos with a good challenge. Cooper gets there to support him. Chance to hoof it away, but he gives it straight to Naismith. And he's challenged by Gallagher. Oh, it's a great game of football this, end to end. And if Linfield had scored their chance, it would be a good match as well, as Van Overbeek runs the length of the field. We said he scored a screamer last time we played them, but this time he puts it wide, as Amos has a throw into Kearns. Linfield's certainly given a little bit, they just need that clinical edge in front of goal. As Amos picks it up in the middle again. Switch of play. Finds Ryan Burke though, and he hoofs it downfield. It turns into a good pass for Adam Idar as well. Beats his centre-half and forces a good save from Dean. In real life, he's gone to Coleraine with Chris Johns going the other way. But here, he's still a very good goalkeeper for Linfield, as Williams gives it to Clark. On halfway, back to Williams again, always looking for the overlap. We know he's staying next year, and he finds Hepburn Murphy into Adam Idar. He's hit the post. It's hoofed downfield by Amos, and it finds Shotton, but the highlight ends, and it really should have been 3. And we've got a throw on the right again for Nico Williams. Just under half an hour gone, Henry Lansbury picking it up, and we just want to get a third to really wrap this up. As Williams crosses, Hepburn Murphy can't get there. Kearns brings it down on the edge of the box. Switches to Boyle, the right back. Not had the worst game, although he's given it straight to Jack Clark there, and he puts it in the top corner. From the edge of the box, no backlift, it's a brilliant finish. Since January, what a signing he's been. 11 goals in all competitions, and that has wrapped up the final. 3-0. And unfortunately, it was a mistake by the young right back, as O'Hare picks it up to Devine at central defence. Straight from the kick-off, Linfield trying to fight back. Gordon plays a 1-2 with Kearns. Kearns gets it wide to the right, but it's back to Gallagher. Now to Gordon again. Into Gallagher for the third time. Switches left. No one's there, but Cooper will chase, and he'll just keep it in. Can Nico Williams challenge him? He can, and he brings it out confidently. Really grown later on in the season, Williams, and he's surging downfield now. No pressure on him. Finds Hepburn Murphy, but O'Hare intercepts, and Cooper brings it away. It's a good cup final, this, But to be fair, it's turning into a quite one-sided one, as Lansbury gets it from the clearance again. Nico Williams charging ahead of him, but he goes back to Nathan Wood. He comes over halfway, finds Williams, who was making that run. He's got a chance to cross, 3 in the middle, goes back to Jack Clark. Williams for the second time, Clark for a second, into Naismith, and it is 4, half an hour gone, and we are doing to Linfield what Roma did to us. Cliftonville 4, Linfield 0, and there is no doubt now, 5 trophies are in the bag. Can we bring this country up with us now? That's the challenge. We might be able to give them some of our good players, and we might be able to keep that coefficient going up for them, but we need them to do some of their own work. They've got the ability to get players in, but they haven't taken it yet. As Lansbury goes back to Shotton. Chance to go forward, switches right again. Cooper intercepts, but only as far as Lansbury. He goes to Hepburn Murphy. Back to Clark, to Murphy again. Chance to cross towards Idar, but it's cleared away. And Amos gets it to halfway, but only as far as Nathan Wood. It is constant barrage. They can't get out their own half. As Jack Clark gets it on the right. Beats his man, crosses to Naismith. Falls for Ryan Burke on the left. And he cuts it back to Matthew Smith. But it is an onslaught. It really is. Jack Clark flicks on the cross. And it's over the bar. 4-0, and it could be much, much more. I worry for Linfield here. Half-time, 4-0. Linfield have stemmed the tide momentarily. But the boys, to be fair, they've got used to their new assistant manager, used to their new coach, and they're starting to deliver those performances again. 4-0 is the lead. Jordan Stewart's come on for them as Lansbury puts a cross in. Gareth Dean does well to claim it. But it's much the same pattern at the start of this half, although Linfield will look to get on the counter here. Really, their only chance was to distribute quickly. They're a professional side, don't forget. They should have the fitness edge. But Shotton picks it up in the middle. Back to Burke. And that's why I don't get why they can't attract players. Because before this year, we hadn't got past the qualifiers. And we're a semi-pro side. So why aren't Linfield and Larne? I mean, Larne are to an extent. They're just not playing well. As Hepburn Murphy heads in his 36th for the season. A brilliant finish from a Cal Naismith cross. And it is 5-0 with 52 gone. And you've got to ask how many this will end up. As Gareth Dean takes another goal kick. Long down the middle. Shotton's trying to get there. He misses it though. It falls for Jordan Stewart. And his shot's just wide from 20 yards. Probably could have taken that in one-on-one. But as it is, we survive another scare. An hour on the clock. Ryan Burke puts a free kick in. Shotton heads against the bar. And it eventually drops over the line. 6-0. And I've got to be honest. The domestic campaign, you've seen why we don't show a lot of it. These sides who have got the ability to bring players in of a similar quality to what we had this year and last. And they're not doing it, and I don't understand that. Maybe they'll catch up a year or two later. Maybe they'll follow suit, and maybe they'll take some of ours. But it is a little bit frustrating. We've got 15 left, so let's go and make some changes. We'll get the youngsters on. Noah Daly on the right wing. We'll take Adam Idar off for Connor Crawford up front. Don't want to take Hepburn Murphy off when he's on a hat-trick. And young Ethan Galbraith can be the final substitution. He will replace Henry Lansbury, who deserves a standing ovation just in case it is his last game. As a long ball forward finds Ryan Burke. He picks it up at left back. Downfield to Idar. Holds it up for Lansbury. Through ball to Hepburn Murphy. Might have his hat-trick here. It's a good save and then off the line from Amos. As Naismith picks it up again. Chance to cross. It's off his own man. And it's out for a goal kick. 6-0 with 15 left. And the 3 youngsters getting a run out too. There is the final whistle. Our 29th birthday celebrated in style. The trophy is lifted against Linfield. And it is 5 for the season. A 6 for the cup final. Everyone's delighted with how it's gone. I think we've passed the 10 million mark. We have in terms of finance. So all of those upgrades next season will happen. Solitude's getting an upgrade. The training and youth facilities are. The scouting ranges. Everything is possible now. And we've got some brilliant players staying with us as well. Let's have a very quick look at the players this season and just how well they've done. A real balance of appearances across the board. So top of the average rating list is actually Jack Clark. Matthew Smith, the highest of the players that have been here all year. That playmaker position, always successful this season. And then Hepburn Murphy and Middleton both above 7.5, with Nico Williams doing a great job from right wing back as well. In terms of assists, 2 people in the 20s, Matthew Smith and Glenn Middleton, loads in double figures as well. In terms of goals, 37 for Connor Crawford, 36 for Hepburn Murphy, 32 for Adam Idar, and 19 for Naismith, 18 for Middleton. Some cracking goal scorers there. Even young Thompson got 14. Jack Clark joined in January. He got himself 11 as well. Special mention for him. And in terms of appearances, Hepburn Murphy, 53 starts, 8 sub-appearances. Idar and Lansbury in the 50s as well. And apart from that, it's quite balanced. The one we've got to pick out really is Connor Crawford, and probably Naismith as well. Both 28 starts and a lot of sub-appearances. Crawford scored 37 goals in 28 starts. It's pretty incredible. Naismith 19 in 28 and 16 assists. There's some special players in this side, and there's a special squad here, and that's why we've been so successful. So we have got a massive transfer special on our hands. We'll be back for the European qualifiers next season, but we have won 5 competitions, and we've got to hope the other clubs start to catch up. So let's go through the summer, see what it brings. We'll be back in about 2 months for the first qualifying round. And will we be seeded and be able to go one better? That's of course the big question. But if you did enjoy this episode, the massive tie against Roma and the perfect finish to a brilliant season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM20 content from this series all the way through to the release of FM21. There's weekly live streams as well every Tuesday morning at 10 AM. And there'll be news of FM21 and votes on the community page very, very soon. Finally, you can check out our podcast channel in the eye above. There's a link to our Irish League predictions. Of course, the real life season starts this Saturday, so I hope you're looking forward to that, and I hope you enjoy the prediction show. It's gone mad already, so thank you for your support. But a massive thanks for watching this one, your continued support with this series. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you are too, as we'll be back for more European action. The new season starts tomorrow, a transfer special and possibly a first game. I hope to see you there.